Let's go, guys. We freaking did it. We are AFC South champions, man. And this right here is what we live for. This is what we live for. We've been through so much crap with the Jaguars, especially these last several years, and really just the whole entire lifetime of this team. But we've stuck with them, and now look at us, man. We are AFC South champions. We do it at home against our arch rival, the Tennessee Titans. And here we are, man. The Jaguars are 9-8, AFC South champions. We're going to be hosting a playoff game, and we're going to keep dancing, man. We're going to keep dancing. And really, what an improbable way to do it. Improbable. The Jaguars in 2021 and 2022 held the number one pick. Just 7 months ago, we were in the draft picking number one overall. We had the worst record in the NFL. And now the Jaguars are AFC South champions. We're hosting a playoff game. Only, I believe, 2 teams have ever done that since the NFL merger, the Miami Dolphins and the Chargers. And now we join that company. And you also look at this thing, man. The Jaguars started the season 2-6. Jaguars started the season 2-6. We thought we were done. There was a 5-game losing streak in that stretch. And at 2-6, you can pretty much write the season off. I mean, it looks to be over. What team comes back from that? However, the Jaguars ended the season 7-2. 7-2, including 5 wins in a row. And that's still rolling. Jaguars have not lost a game in 6 games. We're rolling into the playoffs on a 5-game winning streak. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. You look at our records in the past 5 years. 2018, 5-11. 2019, 6-10. 2020, 1-15. 2021, 3-14. And now the Jaguars with this one, they finished the year 9-8, hosting a playoff game. We're not hosting a playoff game with a losing record. The Jaguars now have a winning record at 9-8. What an incredible performance from this team, just to come out here and never give up hope and come in here and win the AFC South. 4th place in the AFC South each of those years, from 2018 to 2021. We've been awful. We've been the doormat. We've been the get-right game for a lot of teams. We've been the doormat of a bad AFC South. I mean, in that stretch, the AFC South hasn't been good, but the Jaguars always managed to be at the bottom. But now the Jaguars are a dangerous team now, man. Jaguars are a dangerous team because right now the Jaguars are a year early. Jaguars players know that they're not supposed to be in the playoffs. Nobody expected them to be in the playoffs. They're rolling in here on a 5-game winning streak. They know they're playing with house money. There's teams like the Bills who need to win in the playoffs. There's teams like the Chiefs that have won a Super Bowl that need to get back. You know, the Bengals went to the Super Bowl last year. They want to get back in it. Now the Jaguars entered the conversation late. They, at the beginning of December, we weren't even on the in the hunt graphic. We got in there, and now we're hosting a playoff game. It's either going to be against the Chargers or the Ravens, who we've defeated both of those teams this year. Impressive, man. A lot of bad streaks were broken in the process. We swept Tennessee for the first time since 2005. Beat Houston for the first time since 2017 after a 9-game losing streak against them. First away win since 2019. First NFC win since 2018. Man, what a bunch of incredible stuff going on. And all kinds of other streaks were snapped in that process, you know, like being down 17 points. And, you know, this game, the Jaguars were down double digit too, man. 10 points we were down this game. And, you know, now when you look at this is different than 2017. A lot different than 2017 because this success seems like it's sustainable. In 2017, we won the AFC South with Blake Bortles and Doug Marrone, and we were relying on the defense to just play lights out and the defense to get touchdowns and the defense to get 10 sacks all the time. You know, these incredible performances from the defense, you can't rely on that. You look at the NFL, defenses turn over like crazy. The thing that doesn't turn over, the thing that is common when you look at, you know, different teams that go to the playoffs every year is the quarterback and head coach duo. Doug Peterson, one of the best coaches in the NFL. I mean, he has to be a top 5 NFL head coach. I can't believe looking back on it, Doug Peterson was not coveted the way that everybody is coveting Sean Payton right now. He's a guy that was on the street with a Super Bowl victory, that won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles, turned around Carson Wentz, had his best season with him. The fact that he wasn't coveted, but hey, good for us, right? Doug Peterson is the right guy. He was the best hire of this year's coaching cycle. I'll take him over anybody, man, at this point. Take him over anybody. Wow. Incredible. Now I want to talk about this game now. And now we are shifting into a different mode when I do these game recaps, man. No longer are we talking about, oh, we needed to do this better. We need to do that better. Now, like, I don't care how we win, just win. You could win extremely ugly. You can win in impressive blowout fashion. It doesn't matter. At this point, we're in playoff mode. This game was a pre-playoff game. Everybody knew the stakes. This was an extra playoff game for the Jaguars. They knew if they lost, the season was most likely done. Now the Jaguars win this one, and it was a stressful one. It definitely was not the most fun win to watch. 57 minutes of this game were completely agonizing. Jaguars held pretty much were losing the whole entire game. The Jaguars defense for a while couldn't get stops in the first half. The Jaguars offense, it was just clunky. They just weren't their same selves. But the Jaguars found a way to win. Jaguars found a way to win, and we advance. Okay. So when you talk about this game, the first thing you have to talk about is the play of the game. Rayshawn Jenkins with that fumble into Josh Allen's arms, bounced so wonderfully into his arms. He returns that thing for a touchdown. That gave the Jaguars the first lead of the game with 3 minutes left. They gave us a 4-point lead. And then it was on Josh Dobbs to be able to lead the team down the field for a touchdown. And I don't think anybody had faith that they were going to be able to do that. The Jaguars just won this one 20-16. They won this game 20-16, and they did this despite not playing a great game. Let's be real. The Jaguars didn't play great, especially offensively. The Jaguars had no run game. Etienne and Hasty combined for 10 carries for 22 yards. Awful in the run game category. Trevor Lawrence, 20 for 32, 63% completion percentage, 212 yards, 1 touchdown to 0 interceptions. He at times he looked good driving the ball downfield, and then the drives would get stopped. Missed a completely wide open Zay Jones in the end zone. Could have thrown it. Could have had a 7-yard window. Throw it around this area, and he overthrew him, which stunk. And Trevor Lawrence knew it, and he was really mad about it, which was pretty good. I know a lot of people want to see Trevor Lawrence with emotion. He has emotion. Okay, we can put that debate the rest. But I think most importantly, Trevor Lawrence didn't turn the ball over. I thought the second half, the first half, Trevor seemed like he had all day to throw. In the second half, it changed, man. He was under pressure a lot of that, and he was getting flushed out of the pocket. The Tennessee Titans, give them credit, and look, Titans have a good defense, and Vrabel is a good coach. They had the number 1 seed last year. I mean, they're no slouch of a team, and they did a good job coaching this game. They really did. Vrabel called an incredible game, put an incredible game plan in. But, sometimes these wins in the playoffs are about the ball bouncing your way. And that literally happened on that Rayshawn Jenkins fumble where the ball bounced right into Josh Allen's hands for him to return it for a touchdown. Just incredible. 2 games in a row with the defensive touchdown. The defense, we'll get to the defense later. But, yeah, Trevor Lawrence, not his best game, but I think most importantly, he didn't throw the ball into harm's way. The only turnover was that stupid pitch that we did on the reverse, which I don't mind the play call. I wouldn't pitch it though. When one player is running 100 yards that way, the other guy's running 100 yards that way, don't pitch it. Just stick it in his gut. I mean, that's what I would do. But, at that point, the offense was moving, and, we had a dumb turnover, but we overcame it. We won the turnover battle. +1 in the turnover differential, and Trevor Lawrence didn't throw any stupid interceptions. He didn't make any bad decisions. It's just he didn't, there was a little bit of inaccuracies at times. Christian Kirk, 6 receptions for 99 yards, 1 touchdown. I believe he hit like $1 million in incentives this game between, getting a receiving yard mark and getting a reception mark. I think he finished this year with like 85 receptions for, over 1,100 yards. So really good year for Christian Kirk. That was money well spent. Now we'll get to the defense, man. The defense, the first half, agonizing is the best way to put it. It was agonizing watching them just, because the first half, they weren't getting any big plays. They were getting these 3-4 yard gains, and they were converting on third and short and fourth and short. There was one drive where they were 2 for 2 on fourth downs. Just the big plays weren't there. They weren't getting sacks. They weren't getting big tackle for losses. They weren't stopping them on third down. I guess the most important thing they did was they weren't allowing touchdowns. Only one touchdown allowed on defense, and they were forcing the Titans to kind of kick field goals, and that did ultimately change the game. So that was great. But the second half was when the magic started happening. Tyson Campbell had the early interception that ran back to the 25-yard line. Unfortunately, the offense couldn't do anything. So we kicked a field goal. So we only got 3 points out of that. Play of the game was clearly LaRayshawn Jenkins fumble to, Josh Allen touchdown, and Rayshawn Jenkins, just another incredible play at home. We know that pick six that happened against the, Dallas Cowboys, that was super lit. And he gets it again, man. Has a really good year for the Jaguars, that's for sure. Josh Allen had a really good game, had the forced fumble in the game, and just, making tackles all over the place. Tyson Campbell with the interception, he had a good game, as well as, Darius Williams as a cornerback. They had the rub routes going for sure at Tennessee. I mean, they were scheming up ways to get the wide receivers open, and they did a good job of that. But it seemed like we did a lot better in the second half in that category. Cisco, I thought, had a really good game. Trayvon Walker had a really good game, forced a couple of holding calls. Chad Muma had a good game, except for, man, he missed a crucial tackle on third down, which, later that drive, we wound up getting the touchdown. So, wasn't too bad. But, man, that would have changed it. But I thought Chad Muma, outside of that play, had a really good game. Now, with this one, man, this is another game. This is what I've been talking about the defense all year. The defense does not need to be perfect. They don't need to be perfect, but they do need the big plays. Like the first half, the Tennessee Titans, I think they only had 13 points in the first half. I guess that's a decent amount of points, but, it's not necessarily about the points on the board. It's about, okay, like, get 3 and outs, get the offense had the ball in their hands. Like, I think it was like in the first half, like 18 minutes or something, the Titans had the ball versus our 12 minutes. The defense was just allowing the Titans to drive the ball, and that's the exact way the Titans wanted to win. They wanted to win by controlling the time of possession, by keeping the ball out of Trevor Lawrence's hands, by long drives that tire out the defense. And luckily that same thing didn't happen the second half. When you look at the second half, the Tennessee Titans on offense, field goal, interception, punt, fumble, turnover on downs, and just the two interception, or the one interception and the fumble was critical. They were starting to get sacks. They were, stopped. They were getting 3 and outs. It was just a completely different defense the second half. So if you're gonna play your best half, do it in the second half over the first half. So defense, we were talking so bad about them the first half. I think everybody was. It was very unimpressive, but they won the game for us. No doubt about it. The defense won this game for the Jaguars. I mean, they were responsible for 10 points. You know what I mean? The second half, they got the 3 points off of the interception. They got the touchdown. 10 points awarded to the defense in the second half. Now, this game, special teams was excellent. I can't stop this recap without talking about how good the special teams was. Agnew had a lot of good returns. Returning a lot of kickoffs, which was interesting. I mean, there wasn't a lot of touchbacks. He was excellent on punt return. There were the blocking was clean. No flags on any of his returns. Credit to him for holding on to the ball. I'm always like wincing whenever punt returns happens. I always get worried about fumbling. But shout out to Agnew. Good game for him in special teams. Logan Cook was pinning the crap out of the ball. It seemed like he was putting them in the 10-yard line every single punt. So that was awesome. Logan Cook, hell of a game. He really flipped the field, and when they were getting their 3 and outs, it was excellent. And a lot of times Josh Dobbs was throwing out of his own end zone. So that was really good from Logan Cook. Riley Patterson, 2 for 2 on field goals, 2 for 2 on extra points. Really good game by Patterson. Needed those kicks, and he delivered. Absolutely delivered. So just A huge win. Sorry, I'm got a little bit of mucus going on. So just overall, huge win for the Jaguars, man. Biggest regular season win probably in Jaguars history. I mean, I can't attest to the 90s. We've had some good regular season wins. The Dallas win was big, but it wasn't as necessary as this win in the grand scheme of things. The Seahawks game in 2017, good game, but wasn't as critical. This one right here, when it comes to a regular season game, biggest in our history. And just you got to credit a lot of people, man. Credit to Shad Khan, staying patient, always willing to throw out money. Hiring Doug Peterson, that was his decision. Trent Baalke, got to credit him. Some of his free agent signings and draft picks are really hitting. Doug Peterson should be coach of the year. I mean, what he's done when it comes to taking a team that for 2 years in a row was the worst team in the NFL, a team that had no culture. If anything, it had a broken culture. He had to regain trust from this Jaguars team that was just under Urban Meyers, just the worst coach in the NFL, turning that around. So, he needs to be coach of the year, getting this team to the AFC South championship. Awesome stuff. And just all the players for continuing to buy into this thing. That was awesome. We needed everybody. Also, shout out to the doctors and the nutritionists, man. This team has been healthy for 2 years in a row, and we see teams like the Titans that go down with injury all the time. There's something good going on in the Jaguars sports medicine department where, guys stay healthy outside of catastrophic stuff. When the Jaguars get hurt, these guys are back on the field very quickly. So awesome stuff there. All the former players, like Tony Baselli, Leon Searcy, just all these different guys. Shout out to Uche Waneri, the late Uche Waneri. All these guys that, the Jaguars draft them and, they take on their role as just Jaguar fans and supporters. Shout out to all them, man. Shout out to all the just social media influencers, man, the YouTubers. I mean, there's a lot out there. Jordan from Gin Jag, Brett James, Jaguars United. I mean, Jagging Off has been around for a while, and Dunn and Drew, just all the. I know I'm missing a lot of people, but just all the guys that we go through a lot of crap and been through a lot of bad seasons. But I say this all the time, man. Like, you're going to see now, sometimes bandwagon fans drive people crazy. You're going to see people from work that are all of a sudden big Jags fans. It's like, where have you been? You're going to see your neighbors. But guess what, man? When you sit there and watch through every game of 1-15, 3-14, when you sit through and watch all of that, you appreciate these so much more, these AFC South titles. In the inside, you appreciate this, and your satisfaction is way higher than that bandwagon over there. Okay? So just remember that, okay? They can act like they're as excited as you are, but they're not, okay? They're not. They didn't go through the crap, and they didn't stick through the low times to really appreciate the highs. So, just remember that, man. And if you're a bandwagoner, congrats. I mean, I have no problem with that. I'm kind of like that with the NBA. If the Magic ever got good, I'm going to be sitting there at playoff games being excited. But, I'm just not that big of an NBA guy. But getting off topic here. So just, shout out to all the people out there pushing out content. The season ticket holders are another thing, man. They've been through a lot of bad seasons, and now they really got return on investment this year. The Jaguars were excellent at home. I think they only lost 2 home games this year. I think they were 5-2 at home, if I'm not mistaken. So, just a good year if you're a season ticket holder. The Cowboys game was incredible. Ravens game goes without saying. This Titans game. So just awesome stuff, man. And, even the social media team for the Jaguars, I mean, the graphics that they put out, the sounds of the games, all that stuff is awesome. It's a fun time right now, man. So now the Jaguars, now we go into scoreboard watching mode. The Jaguars will either play the Chargers or the Ravens, 2 teams that we have defeated this year. If the Chargers win, then we play the Chargers. If the Chargers lose and the Ravens win, then we play the Ravens. So, we'll be scoreboard watching today. Now it's interesting. Now you get to see today these teams, and look, you're going to be saying bye to teams. It's the Colts' last game today. Texans' last game today. You won't see them until 2023. The Titans are gone. All the different teams running NFL, you're going to see their last games today. And guess what? The Jaguars are still alive. We're still playing football. What an absolutely cool feeling it is. It's so fun. So really happy this game was on Saturday. Now we get all Sunday to enjoy it. We get to kind of sit back and watch some NFL games. Just an exciting time. But guys, Jaguars are AFC South champs. Let's enjoy this. What a feeling. What a feeling. What an absolutely great feeling. And thank you guys all so much for sticking with the channel. Um, it's been a lot of fun for me, even through bad years. I enjoy talking about the Jaguars. I enjoy ranting about the Jaguars. I just enjoy football and I love my team. And you guys were all here, always sticking with the channel. So I really do appreciate that. But with all that said, long video, but this is a celebration video. Jaguars in the playoffs, AFC South champions. I can't keep saying that enough. But thanks, guys, for watching. Drop a like on your way out. Go Jags.